Okay, so today is Coppicing day. For the first time in a long time, this woodland is going to be put back in cycle. So here you can see these long shoots that are coming up, and those shoots are where those stalls were coppiced. So here's one here, and you can see basically the tree was cut right down, and then it fights back and it sends out loads of shoots, and as you can see they grow to different, you get lots of different diameters of wood. So these this sort of diameter would be good for river stakes, so they put the stakes into the riverbed where it's eroding or where cattle are trampling down into the water, and then they bash the river stakes down into the riverbed floor, and then they create a whole wall of what's called faggots, which is basically made from the top very light branches. They haven't got any leaves on at the moment, and really for faggots that's what you want. You want a little bit of the leaves in them because it gives it bulk and body. So that's one use. And then this sort of diameter is probably not, it's decayed, so I wouldn't use it for this. I wouldn't use this one. But this sort of diameter is going to be really good for fencing stakes, for dead hedging, for hedge laying. And then you've got lots of smaller ones which would be used for to grow beans up. So bean poles and for pea shoots, etc. And then of course firewood and anything that's not sort of straight enough for those other things will be good firewood. And what you do is you have different what's called cants that you will cut down one on year one, and then the second area on year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you'd come back and it would be a rotation crop. And by the time you get back, you're back to this point again. So essentially, it's creating lots of different habitats at lots of different phases, and it's creating a myriad of sources. And we have lived with the woods like this for hundreds of years, but it's a dying art, and people don't really tend to make their living doing it anymore, even though you can. So it's a really exciting time for the woods today, and for me to begin. Slightly nervous, but I'm going to do it. She's down. Okay, so this is the first stall coppiced. So many more to go. Okay, so I've processed it now. And under there, you can see the stool. What I'm doing here is I'm going to be building this up with some stakes, and then that will kind of become a dead hedging fence around that stool to protect it from the deers nibbling it. And what we've ended up with are two very big trunks. And then I'm going to look at the possibility of driving these in along the hedge line to see if some of them won't root, because I've been listening to a podcast all about trees and they've had great success doing that whilst coppicing. So I've got a hedge line I want to reinforce. It's not this one, but it's a bit like that. And so I'm just going to drive those in and see if they'll take. Then we've got next size down from those, what we call the big buggers. And then this random one, which probably should be over there. But there you go, that's one stool. That's all generated from one stool. You just couldn't pick a nicer place to be working. Right, so this is the hedge line that I want to reinforce, and I've just literally pushed this in to see if it might root and take. So we'll be able to remember where this is because it's right underneath the owl box up there. Just thought I'd bring you down to the gill, which is just down there, because the sun's about to set, as we can see over there, and the water is, you can hear it, the water's tinkling along. It goes all the way along in the direction of the setting sun. Had a gorgeous day here today.